How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we're starting the long process of catching up. So I'm back from Ireland. It's been a fun week. We've had an amazing time. Thank you very much to Suna for inviting us all and letting us be part of their special day. And yeah, it was great. I kind of want to go there and live there now, because Ireland's just very pretty. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that I am now going to begin the process of catching up on everything, because there's been a lot of stuff over the last 5 days. A lot of stuff. And that poses its own problem a little bit, because I'm a little bit lost where to start. So I think the easiest place for me to start is going to be the interview that dropped the day after the trailer came out. That's probably going to be the best place for me to start. Also though, tonight on Twitch, I'm going to be streaming Tokyo Game Show. So I'm going to rewatch Tokyo Game Show on stream, and I'll probably upload that to YouTube as well. So if you're not into Twitch, don't worry about it. It'll probably be up later on today. And that'll then be me caught up with that. I'll do a proper breakdown of it, probably in a few days, but I'll try and be as in-depth as I can when I'm doing the stream, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, today we're going to look at this interview with the PlayStation blog, essentially, which goes into the details of the trailer. There may be additional information that I've not seen yet. I'm going to go through the official account's Twitter feed pretty much for the next video, I think, and we'll just work our way through, see what information we can get. But like I say, for today, I'm going to get this done with the PlayStation blog, and then later on Twitch, I'm going to stream Tokyo Game Show. So that's phase one. Phase one. God, there's a lot of stuff. Everything that I've seen as well so far looks astonishing. I was not prepared for the amount of stuff that they've given us. No way was I prepared for the amount of stuff that they've given us. They've given us so much. Like, I'm ready. And I kind of expected it a little bit. I expected there to be a lot because they've only really got 9 months to market the game. So I expected a lot, but I didn't expect that much. I really didn't. Squeenix, give me a copy of the demo. I need to play as Sephiroth. That's all I've got to say on the matter. Just please, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for future content. There's going to be a lot of it coming over the next few days. I've not got any time away planned or anything like that, so we should be back to usual, straight on it. As soon as anything comes out, we're in with a video. So yeah, keep an eye out. But let's jump into this interview. And I say interview, it's kind of a round table. And it's got Yoshinori Kitase, Tetsuya Nomura, Naoki Hamaguchi, and Keiji Kawamura, who are 4 of the main development team for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And we're going to look at some of the questions that I posed to them. I'll probably skip over a few of the ones that I find less interesting if there are any. I'll also leave a link in the description so that if you haven't read this interview yourself, you can go and read it. But yeah, let's get on with it. So the first question kind of asks about whether or not the combat system has been changed since Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think before we even saw this trailer we kind of knew that it had. Now that we've seen the demo footage, which I have seen the demo play of the Calm flashback, my god, the game has added so much. Like, the combo has just kind of leveled up completely. It's kind of taken all of the best aspects of Remake and then built on that, which is exactly what they should do, of course. And obviously I'm speaking as someone who hasn't played it yet, but from what I can see and from what people have told me and from other videos that I've seen other content creators do, like Baby Seals, go check that out. But yeah, it looks like it's a massive upgrade with all the combo attacks, the synergy attacks, the dodge and parry mechanics that have been added into it. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot more. Plus we're going to get many new materia as well with new abilities that we haven't had in the first game. We've not seen a massive amount of them in the demo footage that we've seen, I don't think. So I'm looking forward to get a bit more of that. Now the next question goes on to ask about Red 13 in combat and asks about us being able to control him and what we can expect of his abilities. And one of the weird things that I've seen is that Red 13 seems to be quite a defensive fighter from the footage that I've seen and stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. I would have expected him to be maybe support but still quite offensive. You know, maybe like a support DPS kind of character. But yeah, he seems like he's a bit more defensive. He's got like his own unique mechanics, like his revenge gauge. He's got like a vengeance mode, vengeance stance, that kind of thing. And yeah, Red 13 looks super fun. Super fun. And like they say here, they've redesigned Red 13 as a new type of character that requires the player to strike a balance between offensive strategy using the ATB gauge and defensive strategy using the revenge gauge. So you've got these two resources for Red 13, and it seems like it's going to add quite a fun dimension to his gameplay. Can't wait to get hold of him as well. It's going to be beautiful. Like, I was quite gutted that we didn't get to play him in Remake. Now I'm very excited to see what you can do with him. Now, the next question's a bit of a kick in the teeth. maybe. I don't know. I don't know if any further information has been clarified on this. But the next question is asking about Red 13 and Kate Sith being shown as playable characters. Given the fact that we get to see Vincent in the trailer, will he be playable and will there be additional characters beyond that? Now, I expect them, before I even read this, I expect them to be quite coy on this because there's definitely going to be players we're not expecting, characters that we're not expecting even. Zack is going to be one of them, so they're going to keep that card close to the chest until very late. Maybe in the final trailer they'll hint at it properly, but it's quite telling that we've not seen that much beyond Nibelheim. In fact, I'm not sure if we've seen anything in or beyond present-day Nibelheim. That's quite telling, especially if the game does go up to the City of the Ancients, which they've said and we'll get to in a minute. That's a little bit sus, so yeah, keep an eye on that. But the answer is that the original party members are all present in Rebirth. In the previous title, Red 13 became an accompanying member in the second half of the game, but he'll become a full playable party member starting from Rebirth. Similarly, there are characters who are accompanying members in Rebirth that will become official party members in the next title. Now, I don't know if anything extra has been clarified on this. Let me know in the comments below if it has. But a lot of people are assuming that this means that we don't get to control Vincent. And I don't think it necessarily means that, because like pretty much the only thing we've seen in Nibelheim, now that I'm thinking back to my comment from a second ago that we've not seen Nibelheim, we've seen Vincent. So yeah, the fact that we see him and we know that the game goes on for what you would assume is a considerable distance after that. Do you know what I mean? You would guess that it goes quite a bit further than that. I don't think Vincent is what they're talking about here, possibly. I think they could be talking about Cid. I think we might pick Cid up a bit late. And I think the reason we've not seen Cid is because they're not showing anything after Nibelheim for reasons. So, yeah, I would guess that they could be talking about Cid there. That's my belief. There could be numerous other companions that end up joining up with us. Characters that we've not yet got from the OG, but also new characters. Characters from throughout the franchise. Characters from Remake. What's to say Roche doesn't hook up with us at some point and kind of becomes an accompanying party member? There are a lot of possibilities for this. So I wouldn't necessarily rule Vincent out unless me in my non-caught up status doesn't know something. So let me know in the comments below. Have we had it confirmed that we don't play as Vincent? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. I'm in the process. I'm catching up. I'm getting there, people. I'm getting there. Next, we talk about the summons, and the interviewer says that, you know, we caught a glimpse of Alexander and Odin. Can we expect more summons? And the confirmation is that there are many summons in the game in addition to those that have already been revealed. There'll also be some returning summons from Remake. In fact, the lineup of summons has actually been fleshed out over and above the previous game, with new extended side content based on a summon who did not feature in the original FF7, and even more besides. Now, I am caught up enough to know that there's a bit of, like, Gilgamesh talk going on. That'd be pretty cool. Don't know if he'd be a summon. I feel like he'd maybe be a character, I don't know. Again, not caught up. Catch me up in the comments if you want. Like, I don't mind being spoiled. This is all public information, and I need to catch up on it as quickly as possible. So if you know something, let me know. But yeah, I'm super excited for the summons. I love seeing Kajata in there. I love seeing Odin in there. Alexander looks insane. So yeah, super hyped for the summons. Like, super hyped. It gives me hope that we may get Knights of the Round. Let's see. We get a quick comment about the minigames sneaking into Junon, and we can clearly see in a lot of the footage that we've seen, not just that first trailer, but, you know, Jumping the Dolphins in there, the parades in there. And Hamaguchi confirms here that they've increased the scope compared to what it was in the original FF7, the parade that is. In the original, Cloud sneaks into one of the units, but in this instance he leads the unit and can customize the composition of the soldiers participating in the parade. So we get to plan a parade, essentially, or at least this aspect of it. Super into that. Super into it. And I've said super a lot. I'm feeling like super's a good word. Don't know why. But building on from this briefly, like, the Gold Saucer blew my mind. I was not prepared for everything that we saw in the Gold Saucer. I'm going to shut up talking about it because, you know, we might get more. Oh, and here we go. The next question. Speaking of minigames, we got a fun glimpse of the Gold Saucer in its own minigames. How do the FF7 Rebirth versions differ from the originals? Hopefully they work. In the case of the boxing one, that'd be nice. I'm pretty sure it will. Reasonably confident it will. Unless they try and do a funny little thing, which I'd probably be down for. But yeah, Hamaguchi again, there are a lot of fans who point to the number and variety of minigames in the original game, but for Rebirth we've gone all out and created a huge number of minigames, on a scale that surpasses even the original. Now, I did see that there's screenshots of Mog's house and things like that floating about. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The Rebirth hype is through the roof right now. This is, I don't think we're ready. I still think the story is going to do what it's going to do. I still think the story is going to change. And I think that the third game is going to be a very serious game. And we're not going to get much of this kind of stuff in the third game. I could be wrong, but I feel like by the end of Rebirth, shit will have happened and we might end up in a World of Ruin type situation akin to Final Fantasy 6 and 15. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm formulating thoughts. There's going to be a lot of theory videos coming over the next few weeks. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. But I do feel like they're going to throw it looks like they're throwing everything, minigames, into this. We've got Chocobo Racing, which I wouldn't have expected us to have access to yet. Not until after certain events, like Meteor and things like that. But yeah, we get a bit more chatter about Gold Saucer and about players will visit the Gold Saucer in the middle section of the game, but are then free to come back at any time they like. Like I was saying a second ago, I feel like they're throwing all the minigames in now and giving us all of it. They're like, go mad, go crazy, have fun with all the minigames, because shit's getting serious in Game 3. That's what it feels like to me. But yeah, Gold Saucer looks crazy. The Chocobos look crazy. Everything just looks so good. Like, I can't deal with it. I actually can't deal with it. I think I may actually explode from hype before Rebirth actually gets here. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. But anyway, continuing. We get a question regarding the world and how that's going to work regarding the gameplay and the story, and Hamaguchi comes in with, once the team leaves Midgar, Cloud and the team's major objective in FF7 Rebirth is to follow and track down Sephiroth across the expansive world that they find themselves in, so the same as the OG. We've put a lot of emphasis on exploration-focused game design with this title, as we wanted to create that feeling of going on a journey while travelling around the world in pursuit of evidence of Sephiroth's movements. So, yeah, pretty standard, not really giving too much of an answer there, but from everything that we've seen of the world, it seems like certain locations have been moved closer together, which makes sense. You know, the topography of the map of Final Fantasy VII cannot remain exactly the same in Rebirth as it was in the OG. It just can't. So, yep, those changes make sense, but the scale of everything does look pretty grand. So, I'm into it. I'm super into it. I need that demo, Square Enix. Come on, man. Don't make me beg. Then the interviewer asks about the pressure of recreating locations and things like that, fan expectations on certain things and how they're going to look. And Hamaguchi just talks about the challenges of doing that and, you know, how they put a lot of effort into, the Chocobo system and things like that, you know, for moving around areas and for traversing the world. And from what we've seen in the trailer, they have introduced new Chocobos with the flying Chocobo and all the stuff, and, you know, we see old favourites. So it seems like Chocobos are going to be pretty integral to fully explore everywhere. So it seems like they've built layers into the area. So you could just go through an area, just kind of casually, it would seem. But if you really want to explore the area and get everything, you know, squeeze every bit of gameplay and content that you can out of each area, you'll need to hop on various types of Chocobos and go and find stuff. I'm into it. I'm super into it. They then talk about new interpretations of classic locations and moments from the OG, and Kitase steps in at this point and says, as with the previous game, we have strived for the right balance between old and new scenes in Rebirth, but we also tried to take on more new challenges than we did in Remake. With some of the new scenes, I'm confident these new scenes will be wildly enjoyable for fans and newcomers about. So yeah, not really saying anything there, you know, just saying, yeah, it's going to be more of the same, new stuff, kind of peppered in with the original stuff, and it remains to be seen how much things change. I'm of the belief that it's going to change a fair bit. You never know though, we'll see how things pan out. Now the world map is described as vast and expansive, so not all locations on it will be used in the main story alone. The amount of side content in Rebirth is nearly double that of the main quest content. Wow. I'm up for that. And that's going to be all your minigames, that's going to be all your secret dungeons that you can explore and find. Maybe we'll be able to access some of the materia caves early. If we've got Chocobos, it would make sense. You know, if we've got the variety of Chocobos that we've got, it would make sense that we can access places like the Ancient Forest, like the materia caves, various places. So, yeah, that does make sense. I'm super into that, though. the amount of content than the main story. And the main story is going to be big. The main story covers a lot of ground from what we can see. So, yeah, there's a lot in this game, and it's why it's 2 discs. It makes sense. We then talk about this being a continuation of Remake and whether or not we can transfer any data across. Hamaguchi comes in and says that it's a trilogy and each entry will be a standalone game in its own right, basically saying, no, you won't be able to transfer anything over. Makes sense for balancing. They've kind of saved themselves a bit of a problem. I assume that we will start this game scaled, we're at level 1 or whatever, but it will be scaled roughly to be as strong as we would have needed to be coming out of Remake's story. So the people who've power leveled and smashed through hard mode and beat Vice and everything like that, they might lose a little bit, because I would guess they'll probably scale us down to strength of probably what would be about level 35. Again, if any of this is bollocks and I'm wrong and I've missed something because I'm in the process of catching up, please let me know in the comments. Don't be a dick about it, but let me know in the comments, because I need to catch up on all this stuff. So yeah, catch me up if I'm talking about nonsense, basically. We then get some talk about the music, and it's basically going to be more of the same from Remake, modernised versions of the OG music with some new stuff peppered in there. Fully what we expected. And then when it comes to the trailer, they were asked what the concept is behind the new trailer. Nomura says every trailer has a specific purpose. Since this is the second installment in the Final Fantasy VII Remake project, there are people who have played the previous game or enthusiastic fans who follow the built-in mysteries. But for newcomers, or those who are simply interested in the 7 series, we wanted to include a full overview of what kind of experience they will have in this remake project. So there is less of a mysterious pretense to the story this time, but you can look forward to the next trailer. Now, I believe that that's not talking about Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show was more of a gameplay demonstration. They're talking about the next trailer that we're going to get, which I would guess is going to be at the Game Awards, or somewhere in that vicinity. It'll be around it. That's my guess for the next trailer. I don't think there's another trailer been released this week. I think it is just demo content that's been released this week. Let me know if there is another trailer and I've missed everything, but I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure I'd have seen Twitter on fire and melting down if there would have been another trailer. So yeah, I think I'm good. But yeah, I would guess the Game Awards, that'll be the next trailer. And from what Nomura's saying here, that's going to be the trailer where they crank it up a little bit as far as the narrative goes. This has all been about showcasing the game for new fans and showcasing the gameplay so people know what we're getting into. And yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. You can start messing with our brains now. We talk about the scene with Cloud and Sephiroth from the flashback. We already know what that is, and if you've seen the demo footage, it looks cool. I'm really not happy about that weird hair advert commercial moment that we get. It doesn't look right, but I'm sure they'll fix it. And then we get to the last 2 questions, the first of which is the date scene, what's going to be the deal, and they say that, yeah, it's included, there will be date mechanics, so we'll all be able to make our choices, and we'll all be able to hate each other based on those choices. Standard internet behaviour. Excellent. Keep it up. And then the final question is, Remake took us up to the end of Midgar, where does Rebirth take us to? And the fact that this takes us up to the Forgotten Capital is A, very interesting, because, you know, we all know what goes down at the Forgotten Capital and what may or may not go down at the Forgotten Capital now. I think, personally, I feel like from Nibelheim onwards, shit's going to start getting a bit crazier. In the same way that in Remake, Chapter 16 onwards, shit started getting a bit crazier. Things started changing a bit more wildly in comparison to the OG. I think that's what we'll see in Rebirth as well, once we get beyond Nibelheim, because some shit's going to happen there. I've speculated about it already. I'll do more. But yeah, if you've watched my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. Big things in Nibelheim. But yeah, the fact it goes up to the Forgotten Capital kind of means that something big is obviously going to happen there. And I don't know if it is going to be what we think it is, or if it's going to not be what we think it is, or if it's going to be something in place of what we think it is. I don't know. But that is definitely going to be the big focal point of the game. And like I say, I feel like after Nibelheim, and especially Rocket Town, things are going to change. We do apparently get the Tiny Bronco from what I've seen in announcements or something like that in an interview. Like I say, I'm going to catch up on everything. But yeah, apparently we do get the Tiny Bronco, so Rocket Town probably going to be a place that we visit, which is why I think it's possibly going to be Sid that we don't get to control. I don't know. But yeah, really insightful interview. Gives us a lot of insight into their mindset with this trailer and this dump of information that they've done. It is all very much about A, newer players, and B, gameplay mechanics. Not a phenomenal amount of story stuff, but I'll guarantee that if once I'm looking over things properly, there'll be plenty to see. So yeah, tonight, don't forget, over on Twitch, I'm going to watch Tokyo Game Show stuff. It's about an hour long. I will, once I finish streaming, I'll download it, chop it up, bring it over to YouTube so that you can catch that if you want to. And yeah, the next few days I'll try and get a video a day out, catching up on everything. There might be the odd day where I don't get a video out, but I'll try not to. I am catching up on not just all the Final Fantasy stuff, but I've got to catch up on a week's worth of life as well, now that I'm home, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll try and get as much as I can out over the next few days and be caught up by the end of the week. I would say that by this time next weekend, I'll be fully caught up on everything. And so will you. Huzzah! But that's going to be the end of this one. Thank you very much for chilling and watching the video. Don't forget, drop a like on it, subscribe for future content because we've got a lot of stuff coming up. But more importantly than anything, Square Enix give me a demo. I mean, have a great day. Have a great day. Would be real cool if Square Enix gave me one of them demos though. Whew. Sephiroth.